What is shakin', internet? This is Salts bringing you some more how to tank LFR for dummies. Misspoke there for a second. This guide will be covering Yor'sahj the Unsleeping, aka the Ooze boss, and the trash in his chamber. Okay, I'm not going to talk about each individual pack of trash because each one is basically the same. It's going to be 3 oozes of random colors. Or, well, not random, but they're different colors. So I'm going to cover what colors each ooze means. This trash is actually kind of challenging, much more so in normal, but in LFR it's slightly different. As you can see here, I am marking the cobalt, the blue ooze. I think that's first, even though some people disagree with me. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the ones that are priority. Purple is what most people believe is first. Purple actually grants a debuff on people that if you heal them 5 times within a couple of seconds, then they get dealt massive shadow damage or something like that. So that basically, the more you heal them, the more they blow up. So purple is #1 priority almost all the time. I like to do blue though in LFR because purple doesn't seem to do as much damage, and blue actually hurts you because a blue ooze will actually slowly drain mana from people. So what you need to do is you need to focus down the blue so that you can get that mana back. Like the healers will lose mana, and if they run out of mana, they'll stop healing you and they'll kill you and you die. So you definitely want. I believe that blue is more important, at least in LFR. Purple is right up there with it though. So blue and purple are top priority. I'm gonna go ahead and cover the other ones though. Red does an AoE damage that spreads out from it. So when you see the red ooze, you want to get as close to it as possible. Obviously, it doesn't matter. As you can see here, we're fighting a red ooze, and we don't even care. But basically, they do AoE damage that gets split amongst the people that are close to them. So red oozes you want to generally stack up on. But since you can't do anything about the random people in the dungeon, LFR, just kind of going over the abilities. Red oozes give AoE damage around them. Green oozes will do the exact opposite. They actually do damage where it'll damage somebody, and then it'll spread to anybody that's close to them. So if you're close to somebody else, it'll actually jump. Ooze will jump from one person to the next. It doesn't do that in LFR, so green is almost unimportant. It almost doesn't matter at all. Black ooze, I actually don't know what the black ooze does because I've never seen it do anything. Even in normal, I don't know what it does. I couldn't care less. And yellow does, it buffs the other one and speeds up attack and stuff. That basically is going to be the same premise on here on the main boss. I kind of skipped the rest of the trash. It's kind of the same thing. As far as LFR goes, as long as you kill blue and purple first, you're fine. You don't have to worry about the rest of it. Okay, so this is Yor'sahj, and we're going to go ahead and cover him. The main ability, he only has one ability, really, and it's Void Bolt. He will cast Void Bolt on the tank, and it does significant shadow damage over time. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and taunt off at 3 stacks. So tanks are going to be switching back and forth. I'd like to do it right at 3 stacks because that normally falls off right when the other tank gets through the 3rd stack. So as you can see here, it's showing up Void Bolt 3, Void Bolt 2, whatever. So at 3 stacks, you're going to taunt off to the off tank. So if you're off tank, you taunt at 3, and if you're main tank, you let it fall off and then you taunt back. As you can see here, I'm being actually very bad because he does this move every once in a while that he summons 3 oozes, and as you can see, they're random colors. So yeah, and this is a terrible idea. We should not be killing green. We should be killing yellow. But basically, so there are 6 different colored oozes that spawn in their room. But you can only kill one of them. Once you kill one of them, the other 2 become completely invincible. So you have to pick and choose one. This is actually very simple. It's a priority list. #1 priority is purple. Purple does that debuff where if you get healed so many times, it does huge magic or shadow damage or something to you. So you got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of the purple one first. You definitely don't ever want to see a purple one make it to him. Then the next one of priority is, I would say, yellow, especially in LFR. Sometimes it's green in normal, but green, like I said, does that splash damage, and you have to spread out. So you have to be outside of 5 yards from each other. But you can ignore that one because it doesn't splash in LFR. So it does a little piddly damage, so screw it, just let it go. So yellow is the one you want to avoid next. You want to kill yellow because yellow gives the boss a haste buff. So he actually will attack faster and cast Void Bolt faster, which means more stacks on the tank, which means more taunting off, which means more damage in general. You don't want that. So as you can see here, we're killing purple. So there we go. Killing the purple, great. Purple is number 1 priority. Yellow is secondary priority. Third is really kind of your choice. Some people like to go... some people say red because... I'm going to go ahead and say red. Let's say red is 3rd priority. Why not? It doesn't matter, but we'll say red. Red, like the red oozes, does AoE damage around the boss. As you can see here, you see he's kind of got that like fiery aura around him. Well, that's because he's doing AoE damage to people that are close to him, so everyone wants to stack up close. Nobody does. I don't think it really matters. The healers generally just heal through it fine. As you can also see here, there's a bunch of ads spawning. That's because the black ooze got to the boss. The black ooze, once he gets to the boss, actually spawns a bunch of ads. I have no idea how many, like maybe 10 ads. I don't think they're tankable. You cannot tank them. You can't taunt them, you can't do anything. They're totally untankable. So what you want to do is just spam AoE abilities if you have any. It'll show that you have threat, but they'll still be hitting other things, so you really can't do anything about it. And if people yell at you for not tanking them, just tell them that they're stupid. So let's see, I've covered purple, I've covered yellow, I've covered green, which doesn't really do anything. I've covered black, I've covered red. The only last one is blue. Blue is only slightly more important. I've never killed blue, so because blue is never the priority. But blue actually will create a mana void. It creates another ad off to the side. And what that does is that mana void appears there, and he slowly drains all the mana. I'm not sure if he slowly drains it or just does it all in one chunk. But he drains mana from everybody in the raid. So you know, your healers are going to be left with no mana. So what you have to do is you have to kill the mana void and then bring it back up. Unfortunately, since this is a tanking guide, it really doesn't matter. If you can get him, you really just want to keep him in the center and just deal with it. The only thing you have to worry about as a tank on this is just Void Bolt and then going to the priority ooze to do as much damage as possible, since while he's calling the oozes, he doesn't do any damage at all. So it's very simple. You know, it has to have 2 tanks, but otherwise it's incredibly easy to do. So yeah, what I was going to say about the blue. So he creates that mana void, he sucks out all the mana, and once you kill it, it redistributes all the mana that it sucked out to any players within like 100 yards. In normal, it's only like 25 yards, so you have to be close, but in LFR, it's 100 yards, so you don't even care. It doesn't matter. So basically, run down to the fight real quick. You want to get Void Bolt, taunt off at 3 stacks. Great. And let's see, what are the other things? As far as tanking goes, just go for the priority oozes. That's it. That's pretty much all you have to do. There's the chance that he can get purple and yellow and something else. So like you have to pick purple, but yellow still gets there. Do be careful if yellow gets to him, because if yellow gets to him, then he will gain that haste buff and will do Void Bolt twice as much. You might want to use cooldowns here. It's really probably not necessary depending on your healers, but if you want to be safe, get ready to use cooldowns if yellow makes it to the boss. Otherwise, it's really not that bad. The fire thing doesn't do much damage. The green ooze doesn't do much damage. It's pretty cake after that. Taunt off at 3 and kill the priority oozes. Purple, yellow, whatever you want. Set on it before the fight, preferably. Otherwise, people are a little crazy. But yeah, that is the fight. And as you can see, we're just going to beat him off here, and... Yes. Of course, I had to say beat off in the guide, didn't I? Oh, goodness. Well, he's almost dead. I'm going to go ahead and watch to the end of this. There's really not much else to say. The trash is very similar to the boss. It's kind of nice practice. In normal, he's actually pretty easy, so... But there you go. Dropped all the stuff, and that's the end of the encounter. Sorry for the delay in these videos. I will be trying to get them out soon. I have them all filmed. I just got to find time to do the commentary on them. So hopefully you have enjoyed this, and as always, you keep it salty, internet.